Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to a new Slain shade. Today we're going to be talking about Jaclyn Hill, and it's probably one of my most requested videos, so I'm really excited to finally get it out there. I recorded this on the 4th of July, but our power kept going in and out, and I was trying to upload it. It kept saying pending. Then when it finally loaded, it was like all choppy, and so I'm just doing this again. I worked all night last night, but I'm ready to put on some makeup. So, let's see. So first of all, Tay Del Val, I hope I'm saying that right. This video is for you and everybody else that tweeted me about it and left comments about it. And I hope that I do a good job for you guys. So far, I went in with the e.l.f. Aqua Primer Mist. I love this stuff. I think I'm about like to here on it. I can't believe I like a primer that much. Went in with the Ivory Beige shade of BH Cosmetics. And I also went in with the BH Pro Concealer. I really love this concealer. And yeah, that's all I did so far. I set my eyes with the shade Parched in the Thirsty palette from Jeffree Star. This is what I'm going to be using today. I think I might do like some gold and blues or so. I don't know. I want to definitely try to incorporate, like, I've only swatched the bitch shade, so I kind of want to incorporate that because I think that it might like look kind of nice, so we'll have to see. So I'm definitely using this palette, and I didn't put any bronzer on or contour. I think I'm going to kind of keep it like light, and I've been kind of getting into using a little bit more of like a minimal kind of approach to makeup just because it's the summer and it's so hot out. So I've been sort of just doing like a little pop of color, nothing like crazy. But since I want to try a lot of shades in here, this may not even end up being like a look. It might just look crazy because I just want to see how some of these shades perform. And I brought down like a few different lipsticks to try just because I wasn't completely sure what look I was going to end up with. So here we go. Jaclyn Hill. I find Jaclyn Hill to be a liar. I think she's a liar. I think she's a bit of a liar. Everything, I think I'm going to go in with like a mixture of Taste Buds and Bitch first, like just to take it up here. Yeah, I find her to be really annoying. I don't think that she was ever relatable, but she's still trying to be relatable to like 16-year-olds, you know? It's just not, it's not happening. I never was a fan of hers. I'm sorry. There are things that I think people have said about her that are really derogatory and awful. But like, as far as her being a liar, there are so many examples. So I figure, why don't we start there? So back in the day, because I have watched her for quite some time. Ooh, I like that coral. It is not going to look good with any other shades I'm going to use. But I really, really like that. Sorry, I have two different mirrors to look at here. Okay, so back in the day when Jaclyn was just like starting out and stuff, she would always act like the anti-beauty guru, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of them out there today, like Liv Loves Her Makeup and Lucia Tepper, that are basically like the quintessential I'm not a typical girl kind of women, you know, where they act like they're not going to be like the beauty gurus that are out now. Like, we're going to do all anti-hauls, and we're going to, you know, talk about all the stuff that you shouldn't even buy and all this crap. Well, Jaclyn was more like I'm so relatable. I'm on food stamps, which may not have been true. I came from nothing kind of a thing. But, you know, she would say like, oh, I would never charge people to meet me. Not only did she charge people to meet her, she charged people to meet her that didn't even end up getting a chance to meet her, which we will get into. But, you know, just stuff like that. Oh, I would never do a closet tour. Like, that's so stupid. She does a closet tour. Um, she says that she's not a drinker, but then in Snapchats and stuff, like, especially around Halloween, she was definitely drunk. She was drunk when she released that Snapchat of Kathleen Lights. At least that was all the whole excuse from everybody was we were all drunk. That was Kathleen's excuse. That was Jaclyn's excuse. You know what I mean? So she says that she doesn't drink, but she does. She would say things like, oh, I would never want to flaunt things like on social media and this and that. But she also does that. Sometimes she tries to do it in like a slick way where like she's wearing some glasses, like sunglasses or something, and the caption doesn't mention the sunglasses, but like she tags it, you know what I mean? Just so that you know she's got money, you know what I mean? That, I think, is a little ridiculous. This brush here that I'm going to be using for a lot of the blending is the Sigma E25 brush. This is my favorite Sigma brush. I'm going to go in with a little Submerge, Splash, and this yellow here, which is called Quench. Let's see what we end up with. Okay, so the thing about Jaclyn that really got to me, like, is more recent anyway. A little more recent. So she always acts like the victim, but I think more so now than like ever before. And it's always somebody else's fault. Now, just so you know, like, I'm not going to talk about her relationship because it's none of my business. I don't know what really went on. None of us do. I mean, I just don't care about that aspect of her. What started to kind of really get on my nerves about her was when she started being able to use, like, codes. You know, when she started getting, like, affiliate codes and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, like, I hate when people promote stuff like that all the time. And that's how she would promote her codes. She promotes them all the time in the way of, oh, I hate having to say this, but I do have a code. Oh, I hate when people try to cram the codes down your throat, but I do have a Morphe code. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how she gets around it. She's just like, I'll just act like I don't like to talk about it. That'll make me seem different, and then you'll want to use my code, which is like complete bullshit. It's just, it's craziness. So we don't know, I feel like I don't know her because I feel like she changed so much from the beginning until now, and she has contradicted almost every single thing that she has ever said. You know, from like the whole I would never do a tour thing or use code stuff to the fact that, like, you know, she says that she doesn't drink, but she does, you know, just like all kinds of stuff. All the way from that to like lying in reviews. And that's what I was trying to get to, because that really bothers me. So she would do these reviews. A lot of them are like Morphe palettes, you know? And she would be like, you know, like if it was a summer's favorite or a fall favorite, something like that. And she's like, oh, this is like my favorite palette of the fall, blah, blah, blah. And she would show it and it would never be touched. Maybe one shade was like swatched. Like, as she's, like, talking about how it's, like, her favorite. No, you can tell when somebody's using palettes, you know. I know a lot of other influencers are guilty of it, but I really started to notice it with, like, her and Morphe. I'm like, wait, does she really expect us to believe that that Morphe palette is, like, her absolute favorite, even though 0 shadows were used? She even said in this one, reviews, like a favorites video, she was like holding up the palette and she was like, and this Morphe palette is like the best palette that I've like ever used. I haven't really used it yet, but I just love it. Like, those were her words, you know what I mean? Or she'll be like, oh, I haven't tried all the shades. Well, then you don't know that it's a favorite. And of course you're gonna shill out Morphe stuff, you know what I mean? Because that's what you do. And listen, I don't have a problem with people having discount codes. It's just, you know, don't act like you're above it until you get to that point and then you're all about it, you know? And trying to be all like slick, like, oh, I hate mentioning these codes, you know? I hate when people do that, but I have a code. It's just like, it's so silly. It's so silly. And I think that like the first time I ever really like heard about her being involved with like any drama, I have no idea what's happening to these eyes right now. I have no clue. But anyway, one of the first drama things I remember from her was her whole Becca collab not going quite as well as it was supposed to. And she ended up like recalling it, and people were able to get a refund because she said that she doesn't want to sell something with her name on it that is not of the quality, you know, up to like her standards, which at the time was kind of commendable, you know. But what is going on with her and these fucking collabs? They're all surrounded with drama one way or another. Either there's a cake that comes out with the shades, or, you know, shit just isn't that good. It's crazy. Like, she can't escape the drama. Maybe that's because she's working with a company like Morphe. I don't know. I'm just saying. But, oh, I'm going in with that shade Splash now. Totally reminds me of like a mermaid. And I know I need a different brush for this, but I like to pack it on like that and then blend it out. So anyway, so she was all like, oh, let me put my powder on just in case. Holy shit. With all that, I would have thought I would have had like a whole lot of fallout by now, but I didn't. So I don't know what's going on with these collabs and why they're so awful. Sometimes I feel bad for her, but then her ego, you know, gets in my way of feeling sorry for her. Now, I also wonder, because before we get into the whole vault situation, I remember her always saying in her videos that she was a self-taught makeup artist. But I remember quite some time ago, like when I first got a Twitter, I remember her like getting some hate for something, and she responded by saying, well, I'm a certified makeup artist, they're just haters. So which is it? Because I'm pretty sure she's back to just saying that she's self-taught. But you just never know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Lying about reviews. Another thing that I really didn't like about her was the way that she handled this whole favorites video of hers, where everything was high end. There may have been like a Morphe thing in there, but it bothered me for two reasons. Because one, she's trying to be relatable. Obviously she isn't with all this luxury stuff. I mean, that's fine if that's what you can afford, great. But like her audience, you know, they can't all afford stuff like that. So it bothered me, not that she put it up, but that she acted like it wasn't a big deal, you know, like, oh, you know, whatever. Like that she even did the video to begin with kind of bothered me. But the reaction that she got from people, and her disabling the comments and everything, that bothered me even more. Because it's like, we know that a lot of these influencers don't try a lot of the products that they recommend. And they don't, because they're getting paid for it, so who cares? They have so much makeup. How could they possibly be able to review something and come out with like a whole, you know, cohesive review of something when it's like 2 days after it launched? You know what I mean? So, but I also felt like she was being pretty real in that video, because she's like, this is the stuff that I actually use. You know, instead of pretending like she uses e.l.f. and stuff like that, and Maybelline or CoverGirl, you know. And so she disabled the comments, and she was just like, oh, woe is me, because she always has to play the victim. We know this. She always has to play the victim, which I also don't understand, because it's like, I mean, she brings all of this on herself, you know? And listen, I don't hate her. I don't hate anybody. I'm just saying, gotta use this mirror since it's a little bit closer. I really like how Quench and Splash like blend together. I really, really like it a lot. So I'm going back and forth between those two shades for some reason. But you know, she's always one to like start some drama or like put little hints and things out there so people get talking and then pretend like she hates being involved in drama. Then, you know, it's not too hard to keep your mouth shut or at least own your shit, you know? That's another thing. Never ever owning her shit. And trust me, we're gonna get to the vault. It's just some things, like, I just don't understand, like, why she has such a huge following. Because, I mean, she can do makeup well. I mean, she's way better at makeup than I am. But, like, the lies, all of the lies, it's just crazy. And when she's called out for stuff, she plays the victim. Like, all these people are attacking me. Oh, you know, and it's like, come on, girl. Come on. You know, come on. So I think we're ready to get into the new drama, The Vault. Her Vault collection. So this was marketed as Jaclyn Hill came out with a Morphe collaboration that was like a 38, I think, pan shadow palette. And she said that she had over 100 shades made for this palette, and they could only, you know, they took it down to 38. So she had a ton of shadows left over. And they decided to use those shadows, put them into 4 separate palettes, call it The Vault. So she does a reveal video, and many times in that video, she's like, oh, I'm just so shocked at how good my own formula is. Oh my God, look at this. And she was like so dramatic, like, oh my God, did you see that? Meanwhile, she's swatching something like 5 or 6 times and then like putting it on and rubbing it and rubbing it. She's like, oh, I just want you to see how this blends, which I could see for like some mattes. You know, like you want to see what the color payoff can be once you're blending it and like adding more to it. You know, I can get that. But some of those shades looked like shit, you know, just, I'm sorry. They just looked bad. And I wasn't super surprised at that because I think Morphe shadows aren't that great, you know? So when somebody is like reviewing it or talking about, even if it's not like her palette and it's like somebody else's, whatever Morphe it is, like that's how their shadows usually are, you know? But so anyway, so in this video, she's like, oh my God, this stuff is so great. I'm so proud of this. I'm so proud of the formula. These are the leftover shades from my other palette because we could only do 38. So then she ends up having this, this meet and greet sort of like contest thing where like, if you buy her palette, you come to the opening of the Morphe store, you purchase her palette, and she advertised it so much like it was a meet and greet, but in the very fine little print, it was for a chance to meet her. But since she was on Snapchat and she's on, you know, Instagram, she's on Twitter, acting like it's just like a plain regular meet and greet, people thought that it was. People thought that she, you know, all you had to do is show up, buy her palette, there you go, you know, which was not the case. If you bought her palette, you had a chance in a raffle to win a chance to meet her. This is after somebody that said, I would never charge people just to come and meet me. I would never do that. I have no idea what's going on with this, but I think I'm going to use Filthy Rich. I think I'm going to go in with this shade here and see how that looks. I haven't tried this one yet, I don't think. I just want to put this on the inner corner to like maybe like the middle of the lid. So a lot of people were upset by that because they traveled so far to meet her. I don't know why. And but they were under the impression that they would be able to meet her, and boom, they weren't. And some people traveled rather far for that. She didn't really like apologize for it. She was just like, oh, you know, well, she ended up meeting some people that were saying, we're outside, we've been waiting forever, we came so far. So she ended up meeting them. She retweeted those tweets. Like, she did it for everybody, but it was just for a few people. So I thought that that was like pretty crazy. So after people start getting her palette and start reviewing it, they notice that it is pretty much shit. And I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but she said, and a lot of people thought that she was referring to her husband, she had said in this video, there's nothing I hate more than cool tone browns, than liars and cheaters. And in those vaults, like, she had like so many freaking cool tone browns. This is another great cool tone brown and blah, blah, blah. So the fact that so that in and of itself was kind of weird to me, because I'm like, you said that you hated cool tone browns and now you have like 5 of them. She also went on and on and on about her formula, how you know, incredible it was. Oh my God, like, I can't believe this is my own formula. It is so good. So it turned out, once people started reviewing it, that it wasn't all that great. And I'm actually going to go in with like a white liner, and after that, and people, you know, started putting up like their reviews and everything, they realized that the palettes were pretty much shit. I think we all thought that they were going to be, but then it was like, for real, like, they're shit. So she decides to recall them because they weren't pressed properly. It was the lab's fault. It's a new formula. I mean, every excuse that you could think of. I'm going in with sugar for a little brow highlight. I have no idea what I did to my face. I feel like a peacock. But hey, makeup is fun. And the kids will like it tonight. So if it's still on after I take a nap. But so this is where things get like really kind of sketchy for me. So these were shadows that were already formulated and left over from her other collaboration palette. So if they were already left over, they were already made, the formula's already there and they're so great, what was the issue? It's always an issue with the lab, the factory, the way it's pressed, like all this kind of stuff. It's not just, hey, it's shit, you know? That many palettes being that, being that bad, like, something's going on, you know what I mean? And I just don't trust her. I just don't believe the bullshit. I think that they were shitty to begin with, and now they're recalled. Now, a lot of people think that they're being recalled because she had similar packaging for her collaboration that she did with Becca. The package looks awfully similar. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, because if she had like a say in that design, then she, you know, she could be able to use like maybe something similar to it. I don't know. I'm taking this bitch shade underneath my lash line as close as I can get it. So what was the problem if all of this stuff was already made? You know what I mean? It was the lab. It's, you know, it's never her. It's never the brand, you know. Then stop using these damn labs, right? Like, come on, girl. So she ends up recalling the palette. And I noticed in her Snapchat, and I touched on this in another video, but I noticed in her Snapchat, she said if you already purchased the palette, then you can contact customer service through Morphe and they have a gift for you. Please, if you bought one of these palettes or the whole all 4 palettes, what was the gift? I need to know like what this gift is. I am just dying to know. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the highlighter stick from Wet n Wild. I like this quite a bit. I always end up blending it with my fingers, but I will put it on like that. I just really want to know what this gift is going to be, because everybody should be refunded. So now, you know, people that pre-ordered it, they got to situate that whole thing. Who knows, you know, when the other version of this is even going to come out now, you know. I'm going in with Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Put some color into this face. I'm kind of washed out here from all the foundation. I mixed that concealer too, the BH one. I forgot to mention, I mixed a little bit of the Kokie Cosmetics brightening concealer into that. So I think it made it like ultra like light. So anyways, so if everything was going well and she already had these shadows left over, I feel like there's no excuse. There's no excuse for it to be shit, you know? And of course, she plays the victim. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And oh my God, you know, and it's like, and where is her own makeup line at? You know, I don't know. I mean, it was supposed to come out forever ago, but she keeps tossing out all these collaborations with, I'm going to go into this pinky shade. This is the Glamorous Blush Palette from BH Cosmetics. So she keeps doing these collaborations, you know, and I think it's because, like, you know, maybe she's like afraid because people are like so harsh on like influencers that come out with stuff. I don't know if I should do Pink Really Hard, Calabasas. Maybe I'll try Calabasas. I don't think I've used this on the channel yet. So I feel like, ow, if they were leftover shadows, oh, it's darker than I thought, but I like it, then everything should have been okay. And I feel like everybody should get a refund. Whoops. That went right into the corner of my mouth. Because it's only fair, you know? See, this is why I have to edit. Oh, I'll clean that up. I forgot to bring down like a makeup wipe and everything. So I'm going to go in with Kokie Cosmetics mascara. So anyway, so I feel like if everything was so good like she said it was, then there wouldn't be like all of these issues. I think she's a liar. I think she really preys on and manipulates her audience because I think that they're younger and it's easy for her to do so. She has even taken pictures from other people's other professional legitimate makeup artists and tried to pass them off on her own, like my own work. And if you went through there and you reverse Google image search some of the images, they were from completely other people. Not even her. So it's like, how can she be trusted? Like everything she said she wasn't going to do before she got really popular, she has done. She's pretty much contradicted like every single thing that she's ever said. And then she lied saying that somebody else's work was her own. She lied in her reveal video saying how great these shades are and how amazing the formula is. Got kids to get their parents or for themselves, if they have like a part-time job or whatever, to save money up and travel to try to go meet her and spend money on these palettes. And some of them didn't even get a chance to meet her. You know, it's just, I hate how she always goes on Snapchat and she's like, oh, and blah, blah, blah. And I love you guys. I love you guys. No, she doesn't love you. She loves money. Trust me. And I hate seeing her take advantage of people. I think that this whole vault collection is a total fucking nightmare. And I feel bad for her fans, her followers. I feel bad for people that still trust her because she's proven time and time again to be not only problematic in many ways, but a liar, you know? And she's just, when I think of her and I think of her posting those pictures of the artwork or makeup art that was not hers, when I think of that and I think about this most recent like meet and greet that wasn't a meet and greet, I just feel like she's so shady, so sketchy, man. And I just can't get down with her. Those are my final thoughts. I don't particularly care for her. And I feel like more people should be exposing the lies that she's telling everybody, you know? And this is the finished look. Let me get up in here. It is pretty weird. It's gold, it's pink, it's all kinds of stuff. So anyway, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I think my next slaying shade is going to be on Jaclyn. So I hope you guys will tune in for that. And thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. Follow me on Twitter if you want to. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot. Love and hugs. Bye.